up, y'all? That is a tune called the Blackthorn Stick, and it came up recently, and I guess I didn't really know it, but it was simple enough. I thought it was kind of catchy, and it was cool, and I looked it up, and it turns out it's one of those great standard beginner tunes, beginner session tunes, session jigs, and it's never come up before, and I thought it'd be a good one to learn and play and hopefully break down. So that's what we're going to do right now. Hang tight. Alright y'all, starting with the A part here, it goes into the top octave. Kind of unusual for a tune, I suppose, starting up high, but covers a lot of range. So here we go, basic melody. It's actually got a pickup, by the way, pickup on the note D. So here we go. So that whole run, I'll do that all the way through again, nice and slow. Second section, the first half is pretty similar, but the end is different, as you'd expect, so here we go with that. It's really just the way that that phrase ends, that last bar, so that's different, but I'll do the whole second section again, just in case. We'll run once through the whole A part, just see if you can get as much of it as you can, back up, repeat, all that kind of stuff. While we're at it, please give me the thumbs up, give me the subscribe, really helps out in the old algorithm, I guess. Alright, that's the end of that plug. Here's the whole A part. Hopefully you were able to pick that up, particularly the second half of that A part, because that's how the second half of the B part ends. So if you've got it, you've kind of already got 3/4 of the whole tune. Let's play the B part so you can pick up that one little section that we're missing, and then you'll be in good shape. So the majority of that is just bouncing between E, D, G, D. So again, and then to finish, that's the whole thing, and again, that's the same as what we did in the A part. So hopefully you've already got that. I'm going to play the whole B part all the way through, see how much you got. Here we go. Cool, how'd we do? Hopefully you're able to pick that up all right. It feels like a lot of notes because it's got that big range, but because so much of it is repeated, hopefully not too bad. Talking ornaments, if you start on that pickup note D, you can do sort of a cran or a quick grace note. If you want, sort of extraneous. Otherwise, I'll slide into that high G and roll on it. That's a combination that I've talked about a lot. And if you're feeling comfortable with slides and with rolls, put them together and see what happens, because it gives you really a whole other dimension to that's worth messing around with, I think. So here that is again. So I did the roll, the slide and the roll in the G, and then sliding into that high A. You could cut that, I've talked about that a bunch. Cutting the highest note in a phrase. That's one where you just got to be fairly confident in your whistle's ability to not break if it's that note. That sounds pretty cool. Or where you tongue and then slide. And really, when you're playing a tune like this, or at least when I'm playing a tune like this, I should say, I'll use a lot of tonguing to get that jig groove. Where you've got that where you've got that sort of rhythm going on. Tonguing is very useful for that. I wouldn't rely on that exclusively as far as ornaments are concerned, but it's a very useful tool to get that kind of a groove. So carrying on with the ornament, as I land back on that D, I'll pop that note sometimes with a quick grace note. And I land on that bottom D. Otherwise, there's not really much there, but I'll land on that bottom D. Cutting that, cut that A, forgot about that one. And you can cut that bottom D too, because that landing note, again, highest note, accenting the highest note, accenting the lowest note. Bookending that kind of phrase, I think, is cool. And as I come off that D to the G, I'll cut that low D and then short roll. Couple of ways to do that. Again, cutting the short roll on the G, but double tap on the F sharp. Simple, quick little ornament you can throw in there, punching up an unusual beat, I guess, which I like doing. So again, sliding into that top B, and then coming off of that, going from B to A, I'll pop that top finger. I've demonstrated that move ad nauseum. Right? And then a short roll to finish the phrase because you've got a little bit of time that you're sitting on that note as a quarter note. And then you can either slide back into that turnaround phrase back up to the high G, or you may have heard, as I did in the beginning of it, doing that triplet, finishing on an A. And I've talked about that triplet a lot, going from B to C natural with that accidental G there. Cool way to turn that phrase around, and I use that trick a lot, going from the lower octave to the higher octave. But you can also just slide into it too, right, to turn that around, or just sliding off that F sharp. A couple of options. Carrying on then. The final phrase there is almost identical, except we're going down, kind of bouncing around, landing on the G rather than landing on the A. Same thing though, I'll short roll that last note because you've got some time. With the repetitiveness of the B part, as I mentioned during talking about the basic melody, bouncing between the E, D, G, D, that whole phrase. Couple of things you can do. You can double cut that E, and then I'll single cut that top G. You know, again, highest note in the phrase, same rule. Or could slide all those notes, or you can sort of do a variation here and do some rolls. A couple of things that may, varying degrees of difficulty if you don't have a full grasp on the melody. It's a little bit harder to mess around with it that way, but it's an option, and you have that flexibility if you're feeling pretty comfortable with the melody. You can land on that G and hang that note out there. Same as the first phrase, double tap on the, a short roll on the A. And then the phrase finishes as we talked about before. I finish the tune that way, again, a variation rather than simple change, subtle change, but kind of a way to denote the end of the tune. Let me know what you guys think of this one. Standard session tune, probably a good one to get. I'm glad I had the chance to get it because I wasn't ever really playing it before, but picked it up in a session and thought it was kind of cool. Probably a good middle tune or maybe first tune of a set of jigs if you were putting one of those together. So let me know what y'all might play with it. That's maybe a good question to wrap up with. Let me know in the comments. All right, that's it. See you guys in the next one. Cheers.